G'day, mate. Welcome to Friday Facts 342, the new old tutorial, and I have the new old. He's back with us, Mojo. Hey, mate.
Hello. I'm alive again.
You're alive again. Yep. So welcome back. It's been what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks,
without?
yes.
Yeah. You got the human malware virus, did you?
I have a little slip from the hospital that says I don't qualify for testing.
Yeah.
Even though I had the chest and shortness of breath, which is pretty typical of it.
Yeah, I haven't got an answer as why you've got a little slip that says you don't qualify for testing. That's weird.
Yeah, it's because I wasn't in contact with anyone with a known case, and I didn't have a fever or a few of the other symptoms. I can't remember them all.
So you had every symptom except a fever, pretty much. And therefore,
the fever and the cough, that's it. I didn't have those.
But you have had a cough since, haven't you?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
asymptomatic.
You go down as one of the you're not a statistic because we didn't test you statistic.
Yes.
And yes.
GP gave me a proper surgical mask, so he thought something was up.
Oh yeah. So welcome back to the land of living, because I understand we spoke before the Friday Facts 2 weeks ago on the Friday, and Friday Facts comes out here like 3 a.m. our time, so Saturday is when we do Friday Facts. You were not feeling great, and
that was about when it started.
Yeah, and then by Saturday, you were just no reply.
Yeah, that was when I just went off. That was, I think it was one of those days. I don't even remember those days because I don't really, there's just no memory of it now.
No. The next message I got from you was like Thursday, so like 4 days later, and there was, it didn't really make sense. And then it was semi-conscious the following week, and then yeah,
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
On the first weekend, one of those was the first ambulance call.
Oh wow, okay.
And they actually didn't take me in the end. It's like, you're fine, it'll clear up.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome to human malware in Australia, where it seems like we just don't care as long as you're young enough and you're probably going to survive. Congratulations on surviving. Congratulations on coming back to the land of living, because I know you were not.
Good luck for anyone else.
Yeah.
When you get it.
So, Friday Facts 342, the old new tutorial, and this is all about the current tutorial that came in 17 that they decided to dump, and they do have references here to other Friday Facts where they've gone over the details of why they were going to dump it and many of the reasons, and by all means go back and read those if you want more information. This is really what they're bringing, what they used to have that they're bringing back into the current,
hang on a minute. I'm confused already. So are they bringing back the NPE?
So what they brought in 17, right? With Computron.
The NPE.
Yep. That's gone.
They scrapped that.
They're going back to what they've had from version like 12.
Forever. Whatever it is, it's ancient, that one.
Yeah, it's ancient, and they are revamping it. They are going through, and there's a couple of like different things in here. They do mention like your toolbar no longer auto puts items on it, as in the last item you held. Your toolbar you need to set manually. So, there are different changes that they have to go through and they have to change and that sort of stuff. But yeah, we're going back to the old tutorial. So anybody who's been playing Factorio for a number of years, you've probably played this tutorial before, or
this is probably the one which is part of the demo that you download.
It is part of the demo. Yeah, it's probably what got you hooked in the first place. Yeah. So as stated in previous Friday Facts, we're making some changes to the demo tutorial content of the game. I wanted to clarify exactly what was being removed and what is being replaced with, as this content is almost ready for release. Right now, the current new player experience introduction is a scenario that we use as of the 17 demo, and the tutorial in the full game, 17 stable and 18 experimental. If anyone played tutorial in the last 12 months, is probably what you've played. The First Steps campaign, which I think the only way you can get to it in the main game is going and loading a scenario and selecting First Steps campaign.
As of right now.
As of right now, yeah, actually, it still exists in there as a campaign, I think.
It should still be there as a campaign. The first steps.
But
Or do you mean the NP? Oh yeah, the NPE comes up as a scenario, I think.
I think it does as well. But yeah, the first steps campaign was a series of 3 levels which used to make up the demo and tutorial in 16 and earlier. These were introduced in 2014, so it's a lot more than 4 years ago. It's what, 6 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
6 years ago. I was about to say 8, but no, it's only 6.
Yeah, Mojo lost 2 years in the last 2 weeks. So we've been working on revamping these levels to bring them up to 18 standards. Very soon, the new player experience will be removed and the first steps campaign will be reinstated. Both are a full game tutorial, both as the full game tutorial and as the demo. So what's changed? As stated way long ago, 241, there were many things that we felt inconsistent in the first steps campaign. So this is the original one. And I remember it had messages delivered via the console. It had messages delivered by a pop-up speech bubble, comic style character monologue. And I have a feeling it also had things that popped up in the top left-hand corner. So I had 3 different ways of sort of delivering you messages, which was not consistent at all. And they do cover that there. So one of the changes is well, they say the most distracting and the most popular was the character monologues. So yeah, some of the message in each channel were written in the first person, as if the character was talking themselves, and all instances occurring in the yellow speech bubbles and objective panel are gone and moved to the console.
Yeah, it was very inconsistent.
Which
it was a bit all over the place.
I don't like anything in the console, to be honest.
No, it really shouldn't be there.
The console, the white text, because they haven't changed it and haven't done any updates, the white text is really hard to read on desert biomes, especially. Over water, not that easy to read either. It's fine on greenery, and definitely not over a factory. And I think it's one of those things that they should spend some time, if this is what they're going to go with, they should probably spend some time, put a darkening background behind the text, just when it pops up, and then as the text fades away, that darkened background also fades away. But yeah, so and they do say the most necessary and most annoying channel was the yellow speech bubbles. These were a situation where it was absolutely necessary to pause the game and tell the player something. Since we have no other technology designed for this purpose, I restored to removing many of them as possible, and they only appear when necessary, although I'd like to still get rid of more of them. I don't have a problem with the speech bubbles. Did you ever have any issue with them?
Sometimes it would go on and on and on.
The speech bubble or the pausing?
It's the pausing, because you had to. You still had to press tab, which wasn't too bad to clear it, but still, it's something that it's something that shouldn't really be done in modern game design. Is pausing the game to give your wall of text.
Yeah,
it's a very old-fashioned thing to do.
I don't really have a problem with the text bubble to give me information. That I had no issue with. The pausing, that's annoying. There's no reason why,
because it interrupts the flow, and you have to go from playing the game or concentrating what you're doing to everything pauses just to read this. So it breaks the flow. And
look, if it's one of those things, like if it comes up and it doesn't pause the game, but I have a speech bubble above my head that moves with my character, at least if I'm in the middle of doing something, I can finish doing what I'm doing and then read the speech bubble and then press the tab button to make it go away. So I'd really like the speech bubble, and I'd like to, I think it's a better option than delivering stuff via the console, just saying.
The only thing I don't like about the console is that a new person may not necessarily know to press the tilde key to bring it
back up to read messages that they missed or have faded off. Yeah, because they weren't paying any attention and they didn't see them pop up in the bottom corner. So they do sort of cover that with the objective window. So up the top left-hand corner, you're going to have an objective window. The rule is the player If the players tab through all the speech bubbles without looking, did not read any of the story text, they should be able to finish the level. The text should not be in the first person, and we can speak directly to the player. So, the objective, build Burnham Miners 4 of 10 and Stone Furnaces 1 of 10. Look, that's fine, and that's a baseline objective. It's always good to have those refreshers there in case you get completely sidetracked with, I don't know, it's a new game. Maybe
it's easy to get distracted.
Yeah. Maybe you zoomed all the way in and studied how the trees shimmered, or the water moved. But they do say due to more rigorous and dedicated internal testing, Boss Kid, who breaks everything, we caught a lot of corner cases where players can become stuck. The tutorials also are now taking into account new and updated game features. For example, previously the pickaxe was used to demonstrate crafting. Some extra attention has to play when a player crafts the stone furnace for the first time. And they've also updated the map to make it look more like it does in free play, which I sort of disagree, because I've never found remnants when I've hit the generate new seed button 15,000 times.
I think it's more adding the doodads, like your grass, like your
weren't they in of course they wouldn't be in a version 14 version.
No, because it was completely barren land, so they would have been added. What they would have added or regenerated, I suspect, is actually the case, is the landscape.
Yes, but they do.
I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head.
The terrain.
It's not the actual terrain.
The tiles.
It's not the tiles, because the tiles is your grass, your desert, your baseline background stuff. Yeah. Whereas this is the layer on top of it, which is your
doodads,
your grass, your bush.
Yeah, the doodads.
The non-mineable rocks, that sort of thing. I think it was doodads.
Yeah, the doodads. I remember them calling doodads in Warcraft 3, and that's what I'm sticking to. But they do mention the remnants making great impression here, which I tend to agree with. It's nice to see the destroyed things, which is a feature that came with 17 and 18, which was obviously not available in version, I don't know, what's 8 years ago? 12? A version.
9.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. Now that the quickbar does not automatically populate, we have to be more careful about when the players have their inventory open. The new standard for players is open inventory, take item out, close inventory, place item, open inventory, place remaining items, close inventory, which is one of those things you do new game and you're getting used to things. They do say giving new players the option to add quickbar links as early possible is a challenge, because every time you add a new concept, players must expend some of their attention to keeping it in mind. Not only that using a quick bar actually removes the perfect opportunity for the new player to practice interacting with their inventory, which I tend to agree with. I think when I play a game for the first time, I'm happy for me to go through the long process of doing something because it's new to me, and then have a better way to be hinted in later as I get used to things. And I don't know about the quick bar. A lot of games have quick bars. A lot of games have an ability to drop something into a quick bar. So I guess a lot of players might just assume that that's how they work.
Yeah. There's so many variations of quick bars out there.
There is. I'm just thinking all the games I've played in the last 3 years, it's all been the quick bar, unlike Factorio originally, which would be it'd be the last 10 used items unless you manually save them, or the items that you physically put in there they were a separate inventory pocket. Nowadays it's a quick selection tool, which is what it is now in Factorio. It's a quick selection tool.
Yeah.
It's not actually 10 extra pockets places.
Most games really just copy Minecraft.
Yeah, because it took off, and it's in some ways positively set many standards for games, and I think in some ways has set games a little bit backward, right? Because it's just one of those games that took over the internet, took over the world, got a lot of people who didn't traditionally play games into gaming. And if you have any sort of game that follows the same sort of interface, you benefit from taking cues from Minecraft. I think that's probably the most polite way of saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why are they changing from the current new player experience, which they put a lot of time and effort into, back to the one from 8 years ago? And Kovacs discussed his reasoning back in Friday Facts 327, but a lot of people asked me for more information to help them understand. Postmortems are uncomfortable but necessary, so I'll try and summarize his point and add one of my own. The new player experience introduction was created to widen the audience of Factorio. It takes new players a long time to get into the game, and many stop playing it before getting it. The strategy was to show new players both in the demo tutorial more of the mid-game. After finishing the scenario, Kovacs realized the experience was not in line with his vision for the game. This is not to say the new player experience failed in its goals. It did appeal to a wider audience, and player feedback at the end of development was overwhelmingly positive. I received a lot of feedback from genuine first-time demo players pledging to buy the game immediately, and also from story-focused non-sandbox players who were craving more. But as Kovacs said in his Friday Facts, the cost was too high. So that is, I think that's probably the only issue they might have had with the new player experience, that it was designed very much with a quest, a story mode, a this is what you have to do, and there's a whole story written behind it. Whereas the essence of Factorio is the sandbox, the free play, the do whatever the hell you want, build whatever you want.
Yeah, it doesn't lend itself to a narrative play.
No, it doesn't. And I think maybe the best would have been like a mix of both worlds, because I think the original the original demo tutorial, what do they call it? I can't remember.
First steps, yeah.
I think it was dated, and I think it was like, I haven't seen the new one, that's the 2020 version, but the original one was definitely dated, and I think the new player experience was a definite step up. Yes, maybe having a storyline was too much. Because the last thing you want to do, and they say it here, in light of the full-length campaign being cancelled, they decided to change the new player experience introduction back to what they had originally, because the new one targeted a wider audience, but quest-loving players were not going to get any extra content if they buy the game. A literal, it isn't what it says on the tin situation, which is true, and
very good point.
Honorable of them, because a lot of games nowadays, if they have a demo and you play the demo and then you buy the game, it's not guaranteed to be anything like the demo. It's just, yeah. So when is it coming? The new old first step tutorial is almost ready for release. We're still doing some general polishing and internal testing, and if all goes to plan, it will be released in the next few weeks. However, that means the work's not finished. They will need to tweak and polish and see what ways us experienced players can break it. I imagine there's going to be some of them. Along with this addition, we will be removing the new player experience and doing a general cleanup of now unneeded changes. This may affect some mods which have dependencies on some of the new campaign assets. They do say they'll leave the assets in if a modder asks them to, and I'm sort of curious, like, assets take up space, okay?
Yes, they do.
Graphics and that sort of stuff. They actually, of your Factorio, like, download the actual application. Most of it is graphics files. Not much of it's sound, but graphics always take up the most amount of space. In saying that, Factorio is not a big download.
I think it's more the performance they're worried about, because it's something that has to exist in memory, whether or not it's being used.
Oh, that's a point. Okay, I didn't think about that. Alright, technically the assets have been released, so if you have a modder, like, they say they're going to leave Computron in, but say they didn't leave Computron in, if you're a modder, you could grab Factorio 17, 18, whatever version, pull the assets of Computron out of the version 18, because the version 1's now come out, put it into your mod, and then release it with the graphics as now being part of your mod. Because I remember, like, the red assemblers that we saw in the new player experience are probably going to get removed.
And with the red, no, they did change that, didn't they? They changed it into ship component.
Yeah,
I was going to say the red labs and things. There was a whole bunch of red components.
The ship components got changed. I don't know if they're going to be included in the new player experience. So the new old first steps campaign demo, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, look, there's nothing, I guess, stopping modders grabbing those assets out of a version 17, version 18, because I assume even after 1.0 comes out, they're still going to be available on the webpage as old versions.
Very likely. I was actually just wondering that if they'll remove the B.
Yeah, that's a good question. If not, I'm pretty sure you could ask on the forums and somebody will be able to have a copy that they could send to you, even if it's just those particular assets. So, yeah, the only advantage of having them in the game means that, yeah, you don't need to pack them up with your mod. So you can have a smaller mod download because people already have all the graphic assets. So, yeah, but I think that's it for this Friday Facts. It's another quick one. It's another quiet one. Mojo took the best 2 weeks to have off because they're all short Friday Facts.
Hooray!
Yep. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's it.
No, we're just curious on when it comes out and what's going to break, because I know.
Oh yeah, something's gonna break.
I know I did the version. It was 17. It was released, so I did the 17 one the day it came out, and they referenced the rocket silo in the demo. And because I actually downloaded the demo files, not the full version, I didn't have a rocket silo asset, so the demo exploded on version 1 or version 0. So 17.0 demo, just boom, as soon as I got partway into it. So, look, I imagine something's going to break. I imagine that'll be half the fun on day one. I might even consider replaying it myself and throwing the videos up on YouTube because I'm curious. I want to play it myself no matter what. I was really looking forward to the campaign, and that's been scrapped now.
I'm probably going to play it just to see how much I can break it this time.
Yeah, well, there's no Computron you can put in surrounded boxes.
And it was fun to do, or surrounded in gun turrets, or surrounded in all kinds of things, really.
Just surrounded Computron. There's no Computron for you to surround. But I'm sure we'll all find a way to break it at least once. Anyway, I think that's it. So thank you guys, as always, for tuning in for Friday Facts 342. I'll see you next week. Hopefully Mojo will see you next week.
Hope so.
Now he's over his virus thing and
yes,
he's come back to us. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.